Before we begin this episode, I would like to state that this episode isn't an hour long, but this is really just the debate for governor. It's more of a filler episode if you wish to keep up with the story and the quote-unquote the lore with the SMP as we continue through, then go ahead and watch this, but this really doesn't have a lot of building or any extra content. It really is just the debate, which was an hour long. Thank you for stopping by, and if you choose to watch, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. So you wish to purchase 2 cows and
Yes.
delivery service.
Yep.
We have leads, so it is possible.
How many diamonds?
For 2 cows plus delivery, I'm gonna say 5 diamonds. Oh, he was so ready to pay that.
There's
Yeah,
a
because
tip.
he was gonna give you 7.
Oh, he gave me 7 anyways.
I gave you a 2 diamond tip.
2 diamond tip. Alrighty, I'll get right to work on that. What the dude? The 2 diamond tip. Like I'm about to give you my tip. Like holy, like
Man.
that's like a 20% tip, my guy. That's
Oh yeah, he's
I
been
gave you my
campaigning
promotion,
for
my
mayor.
campaign card.
Yeah,
what was that?
he's
My
been campaigning.
Yeah. I gave you my campaign card. It's right here.
Vote Kubo A. Vote for me. Vote for slavery.
Yeah. I also got 3 stacks of them.
Why do you have 3 stacks of them?
Because that's
Campaigning.
freaking insane.
Speaking of which, Spam Shinozu, we need to have our debate today.
Nope.
I think it's funny that you guys are running for mayor when we're not even campaigning for mayor right now.
What are you campaigning for?
Governor, right?
Governor. We switched the name.
Yeah.
The governor sounds cooler, so we switched it.
Yeah.
So you said you added some. Oh, there's a bell tower.
Yeah, I just did it. I don't know if you'll like it or not, but
Well,
it's
we
just
can.
what
For
it
now,
is.
it is what it is, but we can definitely
Yeah.
edit it because it could be more grand.
Yep. What's that sign right there?
USS Susan.
Susan. That is what I
Hey,
think
you-
we should name the boat. Did I say that? I'm pretty sure I said that.
I'm the one that said me
My
like
wife Susan left me lad. I know, and I was like, you know what? We should name it the USS Susan. That should be the name of the boat. Well, I built it, so I get to name it. So yeah, it's a USS Susan.
Probably not, but can you enchant these heads?
No,
For what?
So,
you can put the curse of binding on there, and then
Oh,
use a
say-
dispenser to put it on somebody's head. And because they don't have durability, you can't break it.
I'll do it to you.
Don't do it to me. I'm wearing a
Wait,
helmet
what's
at all
that move?
times. What?
What's that mean?
Curse of binding
of
means you
binding.
can't take it off. You have to die.
Yeah.
Just
So-
take it
What
off.
the fuck?
You either have to take too much damage for the item to break, or you have to die. But because a fish or a mob head has no durability, it's not a piece of armor, it can't break.
So you'll have to die.
So you will have to die to get rid of it. Now imagine doing that on a hardcore Minecraft server, because then you can't die.
There has to be another way to get it off.
There is no other way to get off, I guarantee you.
That's insane.
Joker,
What?
how is the format of the debate going to be? Are we going to each candidate will discuss their plans for running and discuss
so
ideas
taking,
and their
like-
promises, and then you're going to ask
Yep.
questions?
Each person's gonna get literally, I mean literally a minute and a half to talk, and no one's allowed to interrupt. If they interrupt, then they lose time
Hmm.
by a whole 10 seconds.
Hey, I'm gonna go for a scaffolding push.
Oh, don't do that. Scaffolding isn't. You can't clutch with scaffolding.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't. You take fall damage on scaffolding.
I know, but if you land on the last one, here, watch. Watch my pro gamer move. I just didn't even, I didn't even place the block.
Watch this. Jumps, dies immediately.
Wait, hold on. Let me re-go. It was just a bad try. I mistimed it, okay?
Come on, bro. Why?
One more.
You do not care, do you?
About what?
Your death counter. You're at 48 deaths.
I do not care. I'm gonna try one more time.
It's not gonna work.
It will work, I promise.
Not gonna work. I watched it. I watched you fake it. Hunter. Croatia.
No, that's it.
Croatian. Join VC and tell us how to pronounce that, please.
He's gonna say Croatian. Watch.
Croatian
Wait,
is Croatian would be Tion. It's
He can spell, okay?
Croatian. So what? See, he isn't saying Croatian, but that would be Tion. I'm saying Croaton. How do you pronounce that, Hunter?
That's Crowan. That's Croatoan.
Croatoan.
What? What?
That's the actual pronounce like how you spell Croatoan.
What is Croatoan? I've never heard of it.
It's the mysterious island where everyone disappeared, and in the tree there was one word carved called Croatoan.
I promise. You know, just go ahead and kill me if you want to. It's fine.
No.
Now I can go give Aaron up. Can you help me? I will, don't worry.
Okay, here's what's gonna happen. You ready?
I might over here. You put over there.
No. That was going so good. There was a whole rhythm going. It was only a matter of time before I ran out of turns. That was funny. I'm sorry. That was perfect. There was a whole rhythm going, man.
Excuse me.
Now I have 50.
You shouldn't have been smacking me. You got me down to like 4 hearts. I was in fear of my life.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So we're fuck. I about made it like a like a marriage wedding. We're all gathered here today.
We are all gathered here today. Okay.
All right. Welcome, friends, and far away and near. We're here to have the debate on governor of Happy Valley. The settlement that which was founded 6 days ago has now expanded into a more political diverse territory. I'm the neutral mediator, the Joker 22, but you can find me on Twitch at Joker19 _. Let's get right into the questions, or not the questions, the opening statements. I flipped a quarter. Shinozu, you have the first opening statement. You got 1 minute and 30 seconds. I will stop the clock. Fuck, I can't even talk. Why am I even doing this? I will stop the clock as soon as you start talking.
Let me just say, first of all, forget everything you know.
Okay.
What'd you fucking throw in there?
Did I just see someone commit voter fraud? What the fuck?
Can you put the book back?
What's happening here?
I'm not gonna. Okay. Something I live by as an individual is a quote by Gandhi: "An eye for an eye, and the world goes blind." You have to be the bigger man in life. That is who I am, and it will always be that way. Do not confuse who gave me this gift. God gave me this gift. God gave me this gift, and I will use it as He intends. I will not stray from overwhelming power. The difference is, with these candidates, I know what to do with said power. Do not confuse what Happy Valley will be. Do not confuse what Happy Valley is capable of. Do not confuse who the citizens of Happy Valley are. We will not stray from power, wealth, and quality of life. That will not happen under my command. We will work with everyone, and we will be the biggest power in this SMP.
You're out of time. All right. Try not to rage. You have a minute 30. Once you start, I will stop the clock.
It is in my belief that a fair and lawful government must be in place for the citizens of Happy Valley and the citizens of the Auroras SMP entirely to live with the 3 basic human rights: life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Which is why I have already taken upon myself to write 15 pages, the Declaration of Principles and Act of Government. I'm not going to read them to you, and it will be edited in the future, but it is in my belief that we must establish a stable and balance-checked government with a figurehead with authority, but not too much authority, to rule over the people without taking away their rights. I believe we should set taxes, but fair taxes. Elect me for governor, and peace will be brought across all of the Auroras SMP. I do not believe tyranny should be rampant around the SMP, and I do believe that with everyone working together, we can be the best. I didn't prepare a speech for this. I'm sorry. That's all I have.
All right. You still have. Never mind. You have 5 seconds.
That's all I had. I didn't prepare. I should have wrote a speech down. I wasn't ready. I was eating.
All right. Now we'll get into the questions of it. Since Joe went first for the opening statement, we'll start with you, Aiden. Joe, once Aiden is done responding to the question, you can have a rebuttal. If you think you think you need to chime in on his answer, you may do so. If this gets out of hand, you will have a single warning, and you'll be cut off. All right. First question is written to you by username 50 deaths, but who's counting at this point? What are your plans on taxing?
Yes, my plan on taxing. I don't think we should have incredible taxes because nobody wants to pay just to live. There will be no property tax under my proposal. Your property will be free upon your citizenship of Happy Valley. You will be granted your land for free, and you have the option to purchase them from the government with free of tax. Taxing will be done on shipping and receiving of goods with other civilizations and purchasing of items sold in Happy Valley's shops, which will be constructed in a later date. The taxing will be a very small percentage. I'm thinking 10 to 5%, which that value can change, but I don't think we should be taxing too heavily because nobody wants to pay just to live. No property tax, just shipping and receiving tax, and taxing on sales. That is all.
No
All right.
taxes.
Joe, your rebuttal?
I will not be taxing.
Is that
Okay,
it?
so Shinozu, if you're not going to be taxing, how do you plan on making the government money to spend on materials so we can fund government projects?
We got questions. We got questions. Ready? Next question.
Okay.
Poor man 69. What are your plans for the economy? Joe, you go first.
My plans for the economy. I plan to work with Carl to create a long railroad that will be our source of iron and it will be abundant in iron.
All right. Aiden, your response.
I'm sure you all have seen it. You probably came from it. We have a big ship outside. We have founded our settlement on the water. We have big open seaways for ocean trade. It is in my proposition that we find a good and a service that we are abundant of. We can export goods and then trade import goods, and I have already started formulating plans to strike a iron deal with Carl. We'll discuss what we will be exporting to him at a later date, but obviously importing iron from him because that is a resource he plans to be abundant of. I believe we should be number one in economic trading and exporting goods that we are abundant of, in turn of returning goods, so we help other civilizations around us, help them develop, and we are also helping ourselves develop as we need.
Next question. Christian Mingle guy asks, what are your thoughts on military service and defense? Joe, go first. Or Aiden, go first, my bad.
So that is another thing I've already written down in here as just an idea. Again, none of this is permanent. This is all change. I believe that we should be a defensive civilization. Wars will not be struck with other countries or other civilizations based off of pettiness. I believe the acted governor should have power to declare war, but without the public support of Happy Valley to continue the war, a peace treaty must be signed after 10 days. In time of war, the army shall be hosted by volunteers, and if the governor sees fit, he may elect to have a draft in which service members are drafted to reach the manpower levels necessary to ensure our safety. We should not be quarreled with other people's wars. We should be focused on the defense of our homeland and just keeping safety across the entire nation, which includes the other civilizations of the Auroras SMP.
Okay. Joe,
Okay.
response?
Power is something defined by strength, and that strength must be used in accordance to what the townspeople think. What does my state think about military? This does not mean we will stray from violence. This does not mean we will stray from wars. We will stand strong, but we will not instigate.
Okay. Next question. Married at 24 asks, will you keep the name Happy Valley or change it? If so, what would you change it to? Joe, go.
I intend to keep the name Happy Valley. However, it is within best interest to change the name due to complications of...
Of what? Did he die?
Due to complications.
Okay. What will you change it to?
That has not yet been discussed with my party.
All right. Try not to rage. Response.
I like the name Happy Valley. I don't think we should stray too far from it, but Happy Valley, it just doesn't roll off the tongue correctly. It doesn't feel like the name of a strong civilization. When you say Happy Valley, it sounds like somebody's playing Animal Crossing. That doesn't, in my opinion, that doesn't show a force of power to be reckoned with. In my opinion, we should change the name, but keep it close to Happy Valley. I was thinking something along the lines of Hapville, or, so there's something with like Happy Valley, but shorten it up a little bit, like Hapville. I think that's where my mind is going. But again, that's not my answer permanently. That's just a idea. Hapville would be right now my answer to that question.
Okay. Next question. User Black and Hungry asks, how do you plan to feed your city? Aiden, go.
I plan on, everyone knows that we have extensive fields on the other side of the valley. Extensive wheat farms. and many windmills so we can get a steady income of bread. Bread would be our primary source of exporting goods, along with wheat, but also fields of livestock. We can use the wheat that we get from the many fields to raise a ridiculous quantity of livestock so we can be a number one in exporting goods of leather, wheat, and steak when we do get to that point. But that way we will never go hungry. We always have steak. But in case the livestock have an unexpected drop in efficiency, we always have the wheat to go back to.
Joe, response?
The Happy Valley is built in a presumed island. We are literally on the water. There is no better food source than fish. I cannot stress enough. Yes, your proposition of bread, wheat, cows, it seems very abundant with certain exploits. Fishing is part of the culture in Happy Valley. Many of us in this room have eaten a good cod. In fact, one in the audience has the head of a cod on. Can you see this? It smells like shit.
So if he's wearing a cod head that smells like shit, why do you think we should live off of shit smelling food?
Because we will fish
Hold on.
for
There's
efficient salmon.
First responders went by.
I heard that.
Continue.
So why should we
We
force
are
our
going to
people?
be the most
This is
efficient.
so unprofessional, dude. In the middle of a debate, just fucking somebody dying somewhere. What the fuck?
we
Okay. Hey.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Everyone shut up.
Hold on.
Dude.
Fishing is more infinite than any crop field will ever be. Fishing does not have a season. You can't kill your cows immediately. You have to wait for them to breed. We have the best fishing rods in the entire server. Your fishing rod will not break under my command.
So, question: just because a resource is abundant and is all year long, you're saying that we should force our people to eat shit-smelling fish? What if they have an allergy to fish? There's no other food source that we have available for them to eat? What if they don't like fish?
That is too specific of a question for the original question.
But I'm asking
I'll
you.
allow it.
Okay.
Go on. I'll allow it.
Okay. We have the most efficient fishermen in the entire world. We will not be fishing for cod. We'll be fishing for salmon. The good fish. We have many other food sources on top of this. Fishing must be our main. It's the most efficient way.
So you're saying that if you're saying standing on a dock or on a ship or taking your little dinghy out just a little bit in the water and fishing for hours straight just to feed your family is more efficient than planting a field and walking away and being more productive while you wait for the field to grow, or raising livestock while the livestock grows and just gets ready for the duty that they are intended to serve.
And just how long do you expect this to take? Just how long do you expect that to take?
The difference is that while yours is more immediate, this one, after planning has been done, and if you keep the cycles going and have enough coming in after every harvest and keep a stockpile of this food just so that way in case something goes wrong, there's a stockpile of food, it'll always be there. You don't, like, when you're out of food, plant a field. You plant a field while you're abundant in resources and abundant in food, so that way you can always harvest the field and always have these resources available to you. You don't just do it and be on the empty. Like, you don't drive your car with a tank on empty and then fill it up at a gas station once it hits empty to a quarter tank. You don't. That's not how you do it. And then, if ever forbid the situation comes where we are so low on food and the fields are not ready to be harvested, and the cows are not ready to be slaughtered yet for meat, then we do have the ocean for fish. I just do not believe that we should be forcing our people to be eating the shit-smelling fish for their entire lives because it's there. It just seems unproductive in my opinion. I rest my case.
You are so misdriven. You are so misdriven. It's not even funny. Do you know how many fish I can catch in one sitting? 30 minutes. Over 2 stacks. Over 2 stacks of fish. 128 fish to feed my 2 kids.
You want your kids to eat shit-smelling fish instead of steak? Next question.
All right. Next question. Why should people vote for you? Aiden, respond.
I went first. She knows who goes first.
Okay. Yeah, she knows you go first. My bad. Are you gonna go? She knows you.
I rest my case.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, I guess I'll go. Why should people vote for me as governor? Because I believe that the governor should have power, but not power to revoke the rights of the citizens of the SMP or the citizens of Happy Valley. It is in my belief that the government should have checks and balances in place that should prevent the governor from taking any actions that are ridiculous that the people do not agree with. Again, they are all stated in here. You can check section 2A. I think it's 2A. It's not 2A. I lied.
Miscreant.
It's...
doesn't even know what he's talking about.
I spent all night writing that. Alright, anyways. It is in my belief that we should be a superpower of the Auroras SMP. A force to be reckoned with, but not a force to be feared. You never want to fear the government, because when the people fear the government, there is tyranny. But when the government fears a people, there is liberty. I believe the people should be the reason the government exists. The government is there to bring the people together and bring the civilization towards the next direction, towards the next level. But it is the people, ultimately, that are bringing the entire civilization there. The government is just there to give them a good direction and a good nudge. With the proper checks and balances that I intend on implementing, the government will not have the power to make ridiculous decisions that the people do not agree with. And those choices can be reviewed. And in the case of a tyrannical or just a insane man in the position of office, I have made sure that the people have the right to keep and bear weapons of their choice to do as they must to remove the figurehead from office and reclaim the land and the government for themselves. It is the right and the duty of the people to ensure the government is in check and there will be no dictatorships of Happy Valley or the Auroras SMP. With power and might, we will not be feared, but we are a force to be reckoned with. And I believe there should be happiness, life, and liberty for everyone around.
Let me follow my food. How do you plan to stop crime in the city?
So, I believe that the governor, the elected governor, should... the elected governor... Are you coming back in?
Yeah.
Oh, I got kicked for spamming. Okay. The elected governor should appoint a marshal. The marshal should be his choice. And the appointed marshal has the option to appoint additional sheriffs as he sees fit. But if not, he can be the single force. Now, the marshal has the power to to enforce the laws that are implemented through the voting system that I have implemented in here. Again, read my book.
Are you saying that the marshal would not follow the laws?
He would follow the laws. I was...
That's not what you just said.
The marshal is a citizen of the Happy Valley. Like the citizens of Happy Valley, no one is above the law. The governor is not above the law. The marshal is not above the law. But the marshal's job is not to follow the law. That's his duty as a citizen. The marshal's job is to enforce the law so that other citizens may do their duties. The marshal will be following
that the
the law.
marshal could ignore the laws?
No, the marshal cannot ignore the law. In the event that the marshal is breaking the law, no matter the circumstance, the marshal will be removed from his power, and that will be done by a vote from the citizens. He is not the law. Forget about my Red Dead video. The marshal will not be the law. The marshal enforces the law. The marshal does not have the power to change the laws without approval from the citizens and without the signature from the governor. Laws will be voted on and laws will be agreed upon before the law, which is a bill. It will start as a bill, and the marshal must present it towards the public. The public will vote on it, and it must reach a 60 or 70%. I wrote 70 down as just a basis. 70% approval to pass. And then the governor must sign the bill for it to turn into law. And then everyone will be expected to follow those laws immediately. And in the event of a criminal breaking the law, they will be served justice as they should be. In the case of they stole some bread, they might reach a fine. They might have to pay back the bread and some additional interest, or they'll have a fine. Or let's say they murdered somebody. We will construct a jail. God forbid we ever have to use it. We do not want to use it. But in the case that we must, we will construct a jail in which they will serve jail time based on the sentence that they deserve. That will be up to the marshal that the governor appoints. That is how I intend on handling crime.
So, first of all, that did not answer the question at all.
Yes,
What
it
you did was answer what you would do if there were crime.
I said
That
what
was
I
the
would.
question.
The question was, how do
What
you plan
you
on
did was
handling
went
crime?
on a power frenzy.
I said
There will be nobody above another. Nobody above another in
I
Happy
got the
Valley.
seed.
Crime will be taken care of by the citizens. The citizens have right to protect themselves, their family, and friends under any circumstance where they feel threatened, whether it's stealing, whether it's violence, any point in which a law is being broken, they may protect themselves. Try Not to Rage does not know about death. I myself have died 3 times. He isn't even on the leaderboard yet. This is something he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
so.
That is all.
So I would just like to say, yes, I haven't died, but that doesn't mean I don't know about death. Again, his question was, how do we plan on handling crime? You gave basically the same answer I did. You gave your plan of how to prevent crime by enabling the citizens to protect themselves. And yes, that's common sense. The citizens should be able to protect themselves. But that wasn't the question. He didn't say, how can you prevent crime? He said, what do you plan on doing to handle crime? Which is why I said we will implement a jail and reasonable punishments with with an appointed marshal to handle the crime as it happens. Well, yes, our goal is to prevent crime.
Because one individual in charge of an entire group of individuals, whether there be a group or not, is a great idea.
Which is why I said the marshal has the power to elect sheriffs as he sees fit. If he chooses to be by himself, he chooses to be by himself. But if the citizens of Happy Valley, if the number keeps going up and it becomes too much for one man, he can choose to appoint other sheriffs.
We will not stray to this tyranny.
I don't understand how that's tyranny. It's not taking the rights away from the people. How is that tyranny? Can you tell me the definition of tyranny, Shinozu? Hey Siri, give me the definition of tyranny.
That's meta RP. That's meta RP. That's meta RP. That's meta RP. Somebody kick him.
A
Somebody kick him.
tyrant.
Meta RP.
That's
Get him.
bannable
Somebody kick
offense.
him. /kick.
A tyrant,
Kick.
in the modern English usage of the word,
/kick.
is
Try
an
Not to Rage TV.
absolute ruler who is
Metagaming.
unrestrained
He's
by
metagaming.
law
This is
or one
metagaming.
who
This
has
is
an
against the rules. This is
usurped
against the rules.
a
Metagaming.
legitimate
Metagaming.
ruler's
Let's do it.
sovereignty.
Metagaming.
Okay.
Settle down. Settle down.
A
Aiden,
tyrant.
Continue.
A tyrant
Please
is
get up.
someone
Okay,
who
security,
places
get up,
himself
get him
above
up.
the law. Sit down. Sit down, everybody. Sit down. Stop running around. I'm sorry if you're getting bored. A tyrant is somebody who places himself above the law to continue his own political agenda, in which is usually not in the best for the people. How does appointing a marshal to prevent crime or to punish those who are committing crime with the appropriate response, how is that tyranny? He's not putting himself above
is
the law.
above the rest of the people.
That is not true. He's not above the law. He enforces the law. He has to follow the same laws everyone else has to follow. The only difference is his duty is to punish those who are not doing so and just to make sure everyone is doing so. That does not place him above the law. That does not make a tyranny.
How would you punish a criminal?
What's the offense? because it depends on the offense. In the Bible, God says no sin is greater than another sin. But in the real world, on earth, some actions are not comparable to others. I wish I was as pure to be able to follow the no sin is greater than the other, but I do not believe a man who murders his wife in cold blood should receive the same treatment as a man who stole a piece of bread because he was hungry. If a man has just actions, which it's hard to define just. That's a word we use a lot. It's hard to define. But if a man is stealing bread because he's hungry, like, yeah, he should be punished, but he shouldn't serve a lifelong sentence in prison. But if a man goes on a power-hungry killing streak and starts killing everybody, that man deserves to be publicly executed, in my opinion. That is how I plan on handling crime. It depends on the level of the crime taken, and it depends on, you know, like, it just depends on the level of the crime. You know, someone who steals a piece of bread should not receive the same punishment as somebody who is a mass murderer.
Once again, the punishment should be defined by the individual who is at victim.
Okay, so if I'm just chilling in my house and somebody comes and takes my last piece of steak that I was looking forward to slobbering over, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be petty. I want that man's head on my table. That should be a punishment that should be allowed.
Yes.
I think that answer proves everything, and I rest my case.
How do you plan to stop drugs in the community, such as pufferfish?
The pufferfish pandemic, it's looked down upon. It should not be active within our streets.
Is that it from your response?
It is
Okay.
pertinent that those who take pufferfish and any other drugs, I say in quotes, that change the way you think should be Fuck, what do you want me to say? Burn at the stake like Joan of Arc? God damn, oh my god.
He wants to go get puffer fish.
Oh my
Yo,
god.
pass over that puffer fish, bro. Pass
at
over that
this.
shit right now. Pass over
Look
that
at
shit.
this.
Pufferfish is part
I
of
need
us.
my fix.
This is how much of a fishing
Fuck.
community we are.
Oh my god.
Okay, can I give my answer?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Someone guys give these some buckets of
All right.
milk.
all right, enough. I can't
Y'all
focus
need
when I hear you
milk.
guys getting damaged over and over again. Okay. It is in my belief that, I mean, it's hard to say because we simply don't have enough research on the topic to say with certainty. However, it is in my belief that we should not completely ban the use of substance. However, it shouldn't be open for free use. Drugs stimulate the economy. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They stimulate the economy. It is another good that can be traded. I believe that there should be more testing done on the subject, and for non-deadly doses of these pufferfish, we should have government or like public distribution centers where we will have a medical professional who is trained in, understands the way they work, professionally administer it to the civilian who chooses to use it for a price. Because not only does one, whether we ban them or not, they're going to use them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If people want them, they're going to find a way to get it. It just means more law breaking. If they're going to do it, we might as well be making some money off of it. I mean, it's just common sense. So we should have professional centers where we professionally administer it at a safe dosage, and also have medical professionals ready to act in case of an emergency or an accident. But we should not run a ban on a non-deadly drug that people choose to use themselves. This is the Mexican cocktail. Drugs can stimulate the economy. That's another good that can be imported and exported, and I believe we should capitalize on it. Why not make money off of it instead of making it illegal just for another law for the civilians to break as they choose? And a rebuttal to what you said, Chinozu, if we should outlaw it, how do you said our main food source should be fishing. That's what you said. So how do you suggest civilians handle catching pufferfish? How should they go about this? If it wants to be outlawed, what happens if somebody goes fishing for their family and they come back with pufferfish, but somebody sees them having pufferfish on their way back as they're going to dispose of them, and now they're caught with illegal drugs? And another question, how do you handle on taking care of people who do have possession of these drugs? Because you said it should be up to the people when they break a law. You don't think there should be a central law system, no marshal, no police. How are you planning on stopping them from having these pufferfish?
I don't see what your obsession with anarchism being bad. I don't understand how exactly your brain is being stuck on, oh, no police? The people are too stupid to take care of their own problems.
Hey, Shinozu, look at the death board. You see how Ethan has 50 deaths right now? You don't.
Yes.
This has been with a anarchy civilization with no law. 50 times that man has lost his life. That is what I'm talking about. That is why I think we should have law. For no reason one man should die 50 times. To keep a man from killing himself? How many of those deaths do you think he killed himself?
To stop a man from moving at his own will, from killing himself at his own will.
How many times do you think, how many of those 50 did he kill himself? Because I guarantee you it's not 50, and I can tell you it wasn't 40 either. Hunter can account for that. I guarantee you 40 of those deaths are from Hunter.
So you're saying another individual killed him 40 times, and yet you're telling him that it's his problem.
I'm not telling him it's his problem. I'm saying that there should be a system in place to stop that from happening or punish those who are breaking the law. You said anarchy isn't bad, and I'm showing you an example of why anarchy is bad, and now you're turning it around and saying that I am insulting a citizen. I'm not. I'm saying that this man has died 50 times under the rule of anarchy, and we need a system in place to stop it from happening. Next question.
All right. Thoughts about weapons. What would you do with them?
As I said before, citizens have the right to own weapons as they see fit, not weapons of mass destruction, and that would be as science progresses and as weapons are discovered, more can be addressed, but the civilians need to be able to keep and bear arms to keep the government in check and have the ability and the duty to overthrow the government in the place of a tyrannical ruler. No weapon bans. None. Everyone should be allowed to have everything.
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
All right, all right.
Aside from the weapons of mass destruction part, I believe anyone can have any access to any weapon.
All right. The problem with immigrants, are we gonna have open borders or closed borders?
Answer wisely, children. Answer wisely, children. My bad.
This question is so simply answered. Open borders is all you need. That means more people, more income, better economy. Right now, we do not have so many that we do not know what to do with them. We have plenteous land. We have so much land. This entire island is open to everyone.
I agree. I think open borders is necessary, especially for a small civilization as we are, open for anyone to come in and move in. However, I do think there needs to be an interview process just so we can learn a little bit about them. Like, not to say yes or no, just learn a little bit about them. Like, what do you plan on doing? What trades are you proficient in? Like, what can you do for us and what can you do for you? How can we help you? Help us help you, help us. So a little interview process, get them settled, help them out, get them their beginning settlement of land. A little interview process would be nice, but we shouldn't be turning away anybody. We're small right now. We shouldn't be turning anybody away. Open borders for everyone. No illegal immigrants. You can live here for free. Like, it's just, yeah, just come in.
What happened to taxing?
like I said in my taxing proposal, you're not taxed to live here, you're taxed to sell and trade. You can live here every single day, grow your own food, make your own food, eat your own food 100% for free. But if you intend on trading with other civilizations or selling or buying, that will be taxed. But you can live here for free.
What's your plan with trading with other civilizations?
So again, I believe we should have a small tax. I'm thinking, like, again, 5 to 10%. I haven't set a complete deal, but negotiations with the government to trade with other civilizations can be made. As an example, Carl, that's a negotiation I intend on making with the government. However, the people also have the right to trade as they please with a tax as well. If the government makes a trade, that's okay. If the people make a trade, that's okay. But the people's trade will have a small tax. But it's unless we are at war with a civilization, or the government places sanctions or trade embargoes on a civilization, open trade for everyone. We are an open trading civilization. That is my plan.
Repeat the question.
What's your plan with trading with other civilizations?
Once again, that's up to the people to decide. There will be no taxing. Trading is completely up to whoever. If you want to trade these arrows for these arrows, and
Whoever
you want
has
to
the Mountain
trade
Dew bottle,
this
put it down.
pickaxe to this sword, it doesn't matter. That is up to the individual who does the trade.
All right, final question. Joey, you'll start it. What's your plan for transportation? How would you make it more reliable?
Up to the people. I will not be mass issuing any forms of transportation.
Mm-hmm. So you don't have any transportation infrastructure plans in mind?
As far as infrastructure, no.
Okay.
In fact, the main builder up until now has been Trinus Rage. He has been building everything.
Mm-hmm.
True.
My active hours in this town is not as abundant as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
So I think, I mean, again, we live on water. Our most abundant resource of traveling, or resource, our most abundant transportation method would be boats. But I don't intend on only boats. Everyone will have a boat. They'll have their own boat. You know, they can build their own bigger vessel, but they'll have their own little sailboat, such as Ethan is sitting in right now. They'll have their own little paddle boat. But I also intend or think that we should be investing in a railway system, because, you know, we can load cargo up on boats, but rails also work too. We should have a railway system that we should be investing in. And we can do mass transportation of people through boat or through rails. It should be up to the people. No one will be forced anything, and the government, honestly, at this state of the government, we don't have the resources necessary to provide mass methods of transportation. But I think boats and rails is the way to go for now before we discover new technologies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, all right. Well, that's all the questions that we have for tonight. Voting will be
Closing statement.
Closing statements will be here, but just remember, voting will be opening up here soon, so keep an eye out in the Discord chat for that, and make sure as soon as you see it, you immediately vote, so we can speed up the process. But closing statements, since Joe had the opening statement, try not to rage, you'll have the first closing statement, and do not interrupt each other.
After this debate, it is clear of which candidate has which views. It is up to the people to decide which candidate they seem more fit to lead the people and to bring us into the future. Shino's view of anarchy for the people is wrong in my opinion, but again, that is up to the people to decide. I think we should have a stable and clear government with clear rules and clear ways to go about things that don't restrict the rights of people, but make it so there's a system so not anyone can do anything. We have evolved past monkeys. We have discovered sailing technology. We are no longer an Ooga Booga land. This should not be an anarchy civilization. We should have clear rules and laws in place so that no one can do just anything, but nobody's losing their rights. We should be a strong civilization that people have to reckon with, but not one that they must fear of invading. Sit down. the people should have the power, but the government should have the capabilities to persuade and push people in the right direction with the people empowering them. We should be a #1 leader in trading and economy and a #1 leader in military power and research and development. I believe that we should have a law system set up, and we should have clear and defined rules and regulations, so that way no one can do just anything and you can be safe and not worry about where your next meal is coming from. That is my closing statement. I rest my case.
All right. She knows it.
Okay, well, if everyone would look under their seats very quickly. You would see that there's nothing there, actually. So
I got a rock.
I got these.
So, once again, I think it's clear. Hello?
Yeah.
Sorry. I think it's clear who the correct candidate here is. I don't think any amount of government that is constricting one individual should be allowed in this SMP anywhere. I think everyone should have their own volatile rights, and anyone that breaks another person's rights should 100% be taken care of by the person who is the victim. We were all strong. We will be all strong.
Okay. Well,
Mine
everyone,
away.
thank you for coming. That
I don't
concludes
know.
today's congressional meeting. Just a reminder to keep an eye out on the Discord general chat for the link to vote here soon. Go.
The results are in. The winner is determined by a landslide with votes 9-1. And the winner is try not to rage. Alrighty, I have the book in my hand.
All right. Try not to rage TTV. Do you do you solemnly swear to protect the principles of the Constitution, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Do you fuck. I couldn't find the fucking so, like inauguration speech.
Oh my god.
I was gonna try to recite it. Fuck. Aiden, do you swear to protect the truth and always say the truth
I do.
at all times? All right.
So help me God.
All right. Are you willing to protect your fellow citizens and treat them with fair use and everyone an equal man?
I do. So help me God.
All right. Well, you are now the governor of Happy Valley or Happyville, whatever we decide to name it.